This week, I've been driving the newly updated Citroen C5 Aircross Sport with my family of 3. And the update sees tweaks to the design, the tech, and the safety specs list. But it has some tough competitors in the medium SUV market, like the ever popular Mazda CX-5 and the Kia Sportage. How does it compete? Let me show you. There's only one model for the C5 Aircross Sport, and it's going to cost you around $55,000 before on-road costs. That price tag does place it as the most expensive compared to its nearest rivals, but it has a lot of features for that price, so it doesn't feel too cheeky. Some of those features include black 19-inch alloy wheels, heated front seats, a panoramic sunroof, and a premium leather interior. But the safety specs have also been updated, more on that later. If you want more details, the full specs are in my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au. The 2023 model sees a new sportier bonnet, and it's most welcome. You've got LED strip lights that incorporate the chevron badge, as well as the bonnet that also incorporates it. The darkened grille really makes those LEDs pop out, and with these cool divots in the bonnet, it looks a lot gruffer. This has a really nice wide profile at the rear, and these 3-pronged tail lights add some interest. The black plastic molding around the bottom of the car could look a bit unfashionable on a lighter color, but on our blue, it actually looks quite good, as does the contrasting black roof. The interior tech has been upgraded. You get a 10-inch touchscreen multimedia system, as well as a 12.3-inch digital instrument panel. The trims are finished in a synthetic and Napa leather mix, which is really nice, but the two-tone color may not land with everyone. You've got a black and a navy, but the navy's almost glittery in certain lights. The overall design is sporty but cute, and the interior is polished enough for a seasoned driver. This should appeal to those who are looking for a nice but not loud looking car. It looks nice, but is it practical? Straight away, it feels very spacious up front, and the panoramic sunroof makes the cabin feel airy too. The seats are really well padded, they feel nice and look good, but only the driver's side is electrically adjustable. But it does have a massage function, which is always welcomed. Individual storage options are really good up front. You've got an extra deep middle console and 2 very handy utility trays near the E-shifter. But curiously, these are the only 2 cup holders in the whole car. There's also no drink bottle holders, just shallow bins in each door. The dials and multimedia system are well within reach, but they're not super simple to use. I found them to be not very intuitive and sometimes quite laggy. The built-in satellite navigation is really good, but that's where the simplicity ends. It does have wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, plus some great charging options up front with a wireless charging pad, a 12-volt port, and 2 USB-A ports to choose from. There's no head-up display, but the big instrument panel is fairly easy to read. It's just not super intuitive to use either. I'm in the back seat and it's really well padded and I have plenty of headroom, but I have very little legroom behind my driving position. So taller passengers beware. Storage options and features are a little bit sparse back here. You have netted mat pockets, storage bins in the doors, directional air vents, reading lights, and siblings will fight over the single USB-A port. But besides from that, that's it. Although my 6-year-old did enjoy the 182mm ground clearance, made it easy for him to get in and out, and the flat floor does make this fairly comfortable for a middle seat passenger if you have to have one. There are Isofix child seat mounts on the outboard seats, plus 3 top tethers, but 2 seats are going to fit best. If you do have to fit a 0 to 4 rearward facing child seat, it is going to encroach on front passenger space. This row does have something cool going for it though. It's got a 35-30-35 split, which means that you can move these individually, which just opens up some storage options if you've got things in the back that need to come through the front. The boot space is a great size at 580 litres. You can have a level load space or readjust the floor if you need to fit in bulkier items. It has a temporary spare wheel underneath the floor, and it's always handy having a power tailgate. The Aircross Sport has a 1.6-litre 4-cylinder turbo petrol engine with a max power output of 133 kilowatts and 250 newton meters worth of torque. Now, it's not super grunty, but there's certainly plenty enough here to keep you up to speed on the open road. It's a front-wheel drive and has an 8-speed auto transmission, but the gear changes can feel a little bit jerky at lower speeds. This has a city-friendly size, but is just as happy cruising on the open road. It's actually quite a smooth ride too once you get up to speed, but the suspension can feel harsh on a bumpy road. I did find that the auto stop-start function made it feel a little bit sluggish at lower speeds, so I did disable this most trips. This has enough power that you can overtake with confidence and get up to speed, but you do have to be a little bit more aggressive with the accelerator when you're tackling hills. The steering can be a little bit vague at lower speeds, but is otherwise responsive, and the cabin is nice and quiet. What I think I like most about this though is the visibility. I feel like with the wide windows, I've got really good visibility for an SUV, which is always handy to have in a family car. The size of this car makes it a fairly easy car to park, as does the 10.7 meter turning circle. Say hello to a tight city car park. However, the 180 degree view camera is a bit blurry actually, and near to hopeless at night time. I think that this should definitely be improved upon on future installments. I really like the fuel efficiency in this. The official combined fuel cycle is 5.7 litres per 100 kilometres, and I achieved 6.2 litres, which is fantastic for not only a turbo, but also an SUV of this size. Based off the official combined cycle and the 53 litre fuel tank, you should be able to get a driving range of roughly 930 kilometres, which is great for those families who still do road trips. As I mentioned, the safety tech has been updated to better reflect what families expect nowadays. It now has adaptive cruise control with stop and go, rear cross traffic alert, as well as a driver attention alert, which will continue to alert unless it detects both of the driver's hands on the steering wheel. It was awarded a 4-star ANCAP safety rating back in 2019, but it wasn't tested with all the new safety features. It also only has 6 airbags, which is a little bit low for a family car, but that does include curtain airbags covering both rows. If you're after more details, check out the full review at carsguide.com.au. The ongoing costs for this are actually really reasonable. It comes with a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, but you can also pre-purchase either a 3 or 5-year cap price servicing plan, which is significantly cheaper than the pay-as-you-go option. Servicing is capped at just $2,000 on the 5-year plan, which averages at $400 per service, which is very competitive for this class. You also get 5 years roadside assistance through DigiCall Assist for added peace of mind. So what did my family think about the Citroen C5 Aircross Sport this week? I love how it looks and how spacious and roomy it is inside and in the boot space. But the back seat is lacking a lot of family-orientated features for my liking, and the multimedia system plus that reversing camera definitely need to be improved upon. Overall, this should suit a small family who are out of the baby stages but can't really justify moving into a larger SUV. So this gets a 6.5 out of 10 from us. If you're after more details, check out my written review at carsguide.com.au, and I'll see you next week.